Chapter 20 of the Baptist Faith and Message. Religious Liberty. Article 17. Religious Liberty. God alone is Lord of the conscience. He has left it free from the doctrines and commandments of men which are contrary to his word, or not contained in it. Church and state should be separate. The state owes to every church protection and full freedom in the pursuit of its spiritual ends. In providing for such freedom, no ecclesiastical group or denomination should be favored by a state more than others. Civil government being ordained of God, it is the duty of Christians to render loyal obedience thereto in all things not contrary to the revealed will of God. The church should not resort to the civil power to carry out its work. The gospel of Christ contemplates spiritual means alone for the pursuit of its ends. The state has no right to impose penalties for religious opinion of any kind. The state has no right to impose taxes for the support of any form of religion. A free church in a free state is the Christian ideal. And this implies the right of free and unhindered access to God on the part of all men, and the right to form and propagate opinions in the sphere of religion without interference by civil power. Today's memory verse is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. I urge that petitions, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for everyone, for kings and all those who are in authority, so that we may lead a tranquil and quiet life in all godliness and dignity. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. Religious liberty has always been a Baptist principle and a Baptist passion. As Herschel Hobbs explained, religious liberty is the mother of all true freedoms. Our commitment is to religious liberty for all peoples, not just for Baptists, because we believe that every human being is created in God's image and possesses full rights and freedoms granted by the Creator, as well as full accountability. Lord of the conscience. Religious liberty is not the gift of the U.S. Constitution, but a gift of God. The very fact that God created humans as moral and spiritual beings, possessing a moral conscience, indicates that God intends for his human creatures to be both free and responsible. Read the following scripture passages in the margin. Match each reference with the correct summary statements. Number 1, John chapter 8, verse 32. Number 2, John chapter 8, verse 36. Number 3, Acts 4, 19 and 20. And number 4, Philippians chapter 3, verse 20. And here are the summary statements. Letter A, God should have first place in our allegiance. Letter B, true freedom comes from Jesus Christ. Letter C, people are set free by God's truth. Letter D, the Christian's primary citizenship is in heaven. Did you respond this way? 1C, 2B, 3A, and 4D. Early Baptists suffered intense persecution and hostility, which taught Baptists to recognize the necessity of authentic religious liberty. Roger Williams, circa 1603 to 83, was not the only early Baptist to feel the sting of persecution. Obadiah Holmes, circa 1607 to 82, left England and came to Massachusetts for religious freedom. After a dozen years, Holmes found the persecution in the new land unbearable and moved to the wilderness area of Newport, Rhode Island. He became the assistant to John Clark, the pastor of the Baptist Church in Newport. In July 1651, John Clark, Obadiah Holmes, and another man traveled 80 miles to Lynn, Massachusetts, to see a blind, aged fellow Baptist.